Hi, today we'll talk about payday loans, also known as cash advance loans and cash loans across the country and the world. So basically, payday loans are short-term loans that provide ability to a person to borrow at a very high cost. These are typically due at the very next payday of the borrower. Let's talk about some of the features of the payday loans. They are short-term, meaning up to 14 days, but in the Canadian context, these can be given out for up to 62 days at one time. There are no credit checks required for this kind of a loan. There are no interest charges, but there is an administrative charge that is really high, and up to $1,500 can be borrowed at one time according to the Canadian rules. Let's talk about the process for a payday loan. So as we know that loans are generally given out for 14 days or until the next payday of the borrower. So once a borrower goes to a payday site or a merchant that provides payday loans, he needs to show his ID, basically identification card, his proof of income and bank account details. An admin fee is charged after the time has elapsed or towards the end of the term of the borrowing. The borrower has to pay back the money. In case of a default, the borrower has to pay a penalty, and if his pre-authorization of the check or auto debit doesn't go through, there's another penalty that the borrower has to pay. Now let's talk about why it should be the very last resort of any person borrowing. It has very high cost as compared to other instruments. For example, according to a Canadian research published on a Canadian government website, a payday loan costs $17 per $100 that you borrow for 14 days, which gives an annual interest rate of 442%. On comparison, a line of credit gives an 8% annual interest, while on an overdraft protection on a checking account includes 21% annual interest charge, and a cash advance on a credit card just has a 23% annual interest charge. The second point is predatory marketing policies of the merchants. So merchants usually hide a lot of the terms and conditions while giving the loans to the borrowers. It basically makes a continuous cycle, as when the borrower is unable to pay back his loan, the interest charges or the administrative charges keep on mounting, and in some cases the borrower pays huge amounts of interest, and it's more than even the principal amount. Fourthly, if a person is unable to pay back the loan on time, the lender might get him into collections and he might have to go to court too. That prolongs the process even further, which definitely increases the hassles of the borrowers. So these are some of the reasons why you should consider the payday loans to be the really last resort after you have exhausted all the other lines of credit and you are not able to borrow from your friends and family too. Thank you so much for being with me today and showing the interest in payday loans. Now you know why payday loans should be the very last resort and why it's not really good. Thank you.